Hello, fighter of the unseen battles. You and I both know that pain isn't just a wound. It's a secret language of transformation. Many run from it, others hide behind it. But a rare few, they learn to turn it into their greatest weapon. And today, I want to speak only to those rare few. To you. Pain comes disguised as an enemy, yet it holds the keys to your strength. Think about it. Every scar, every heartbreak, every rejection you've endured has carved depth into your character. You're not fragile. You are proof that endurance writes stories no comfort could ever tell. History has never celebrated the ones who live soft lives. It remembers those who stood face to face with suffering, and instead of breaking, they sharpened themselves. There's a man who once lost everything in a single night: family, home, even the sense of who he was. He could have drowned in despair, yet he used that very collapse as the foundation to rebuild a life of purpose. What destroyed him became what defined him. That is the paradox of pain. It offers the bricks to build the temple of your power, but only if you dare to lift them. And I want you to see yourself the same way. That setback you thought would ruin you? It's not a wall, it's raw material. That heartbreak that hollowed your chest? It carves space for deeper love of yourself. That rejection that stung like fire? It lit the flame of resilience inside you. Pain is never just suffering, it's an invitation. But only the brave accept it. Every time you say, "This hurts too much," the world is asking, will you stop here, or will you rise from it stronger than you ever imagined? Because pain, my friend, is not the end. It is the beginning of your transformation. When pain enters your life, it doesn't knock. It breaks the door. It leaves you exposed, vulnerable, stripped of all illusions. And in that raw silence, you face the truth about yourself. That's where most people run. They scramble for distractions. They numb themselves. They beg for escape. But you are not like most people. You wouldn't still be here if you were. In the fire of pain, something extraordinary happens. The masks burn away. The false identities, the borrowed opinions, the shallow goals, they all crumble. What's left is your core, pure, untamed, real. That's why pain is so valuable. It destroys the lies you've been told about who you are and forces you to confront the version of yourself that cannot be broken. Imagine the strongest steel. Do you know how it's made? Not in comfort, not in softness. It is forged in fire, pounded by relentless force until it becomes unshakable. You are no different. Every hardship that strikes you is not punishment. It's the hammer shaping your strength. Every loss is the fire tempering your spirit. And when you rise from it, you carry a weight of power that no ordinary soul can understand. Look around you. Most people live behind invisible cages. Fear, doubt, insecurity. They avoid pain at all costs, not realizing that in their avoidance, they also avoid greatness. You, however, are walking a different path. By daring to face your suffering, you are walking into the same arena where the strongest minds and leaders of history were born. And here's the secret. Once you stop fighting against pain and start listening to it, you'll see that it has always been your silent ally. It points to your weaknesses so you can strengthen them. It shows you where you've been blind so you can finally see. It teaches you lessons that no book, no teacher, no easy path could ever teach. Pain whispers things no comfort will ever dare to tell you. It tells you where your limits are, and at the same time, it dares you to shatter them. That's why people who avoid pain also avoid growth. They stay in the shallow waters, never learning how deep their own ocean truly is. But you, sitting there, listening now, you already feel that pull. The knowledge that your pain isn't meaningless, it's a message written just for you. Think back for a moment. When have you felt the most alive? Was it in a moment of ease? Or was it right after walking through a storm you thought would drown you? That rush, that fire in your chest wasn't just relief, it was rebirth. Pain broke you open, yes, but in that breaking, it also planted seeds. Seeds of courage, discipline, strength. And each time you rise, those seeds grow into something greater than you were before. That's why I tell you, pain is the most honest mirror. It shows you who you are when nothing else remains. When the applause stops, when no one's watching, when you are stripped of comfort, stripped of excuses. In those moments, you meet the real you. And though it may scare you at first, it is also the beginning of your power. You see, everyone wants transformation, but few are willing to pay the price. Pain is that price. And once you pay it, No one can ever take from you what you have earned, because it's not external, it's not a possession, it's not fragile. It's carved into you. So now the question becomes, how do you turn that raw, burning pain into pure, unstoppable power? The answer isn't in running from it, it's in harnessing it. Just like a raging river can destroy everything in its path if left uncontrolled. But when directed, it can generate enough energy to light up entire cities. Your pain is the same. Left unchecked, it can drown you. But when you learn to channel it, it becomes fuel, a force that propels you far beyond what you thought possible. The first step is awareness. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" That shift alone takes you from victim to architect. Suddenly, the pain is no longer a chain. It's a tool to sharpen your patience, to build your resilience, to ignite your hunger. Think of every great champion you admire. Do you think their victories were born out of comfort? Number, behind every gold medal, every empire, every breakthrough, there is a hidden mountain of pain, nights of doubt, endless rejection, crushing defeats. But here's the key. They didn't bury that pain. They built with it. They looked it in the eye and said, "You will not destroy me. You will become my strength, and so can you." The weight on your shoulders right now, it's not there to break your back. It's there to build your muscle. The tears you've cried, they're not signs of weakness. They are proof that your heart still fights. The silence you've endured when no one believed in you, that's the echo chamber where self-belief is born. This is why pain, once embraced, becomes power. Not the kind of power that shouts or intimidates, but the kind that radiates silently, making people wonder, how do they keep going? How do they stay unshaken? That's the type of power that turns ordinary souls into legends. When you look closely, you'll see that every form of pain carries hidden energy. Anger, for example, is raw power. Most people waste it on shouting, blaming, or destroying themselves. But if you take that same fire and aim it at your discipline, your work, your craft, it becomes fuel that no ordinary motivation could ever give you. Sadness, too, is not weakness. It digs deep, creating space inside you. That space is where empathy, vision, and wisdom grow. Even fear, the most paralyzing of pains, is nothing more than an invitation to courage. Without fear, there would be no bravery. Without loss, there would be no hunger to rise. Here is where the shift happens. Instead of letting pain control you, you take control of it. You stop asking for it to disappear, and instead you ask, "How can I use this?" That simple change turns you from prey into predator. Life stops happening to you and starts happening for you. Think of a sculptor. He doesn't cry when he strikes the stone. He knows each blow, though violent, is bringing out the masterpiece hidden within. That's exactly what pain does to you. Every heartbreak, every failure, every rejection, it's not destruction, it's chiseling. And the figure that emerges from the stone is stronger, sharper, more defined than anything comfort could have ever shaped. This is why the greatest victories are born in silence, in shadows, when no one is watching. That's when pain is doing its secret work, cutting away what no longer serves you, building a foundation only you can feel. And when you step back into the light, people won't recognize you. They'll ask, "How did you change so much?" But you'll know the truth. It wasn't a miracle. It was the alchemy of pain. There comes a point when pain stops being something that happened to you and becomes part of who you are. It's no longer a story of suffering. It's the foundation of your destiny. Because once you've learned how to use pain, you're no longer chasing power. You are power. Every scar becomes a signature. Every bruise, a badge of honor. Every dark chapter, a crucial page in the book that only you could write. Think about the people who changed the world. They weren't born unstoppable. They were broken first. They were humiliated, doubted, abandoned. But they refused to stay small. They understood that pain was not the villain of their story. It was the catalyst. It was the storm that prepared them for the weight of their purpose. And so they rose, not in spite of their wounds, but because of them. And here's the part most people will never understand. When you master the art of transforming pain into power, the world can no longer control you. Insults lose their sting, failures lose their shame, obstacles lose their power to intimidate. Because deep down you've seen worse, and you survived. You know what it's like to walk through fire and come out forged. That makes you untouchable. Your destiny isn't built on the days you felt strong. It's built on the nights you almost gave up but didn't. On the mornings you rose with heavy hands but still showed up. on the moments you were shattered but chose to stand anyway. Those are the moments that write your legacy. And make no mistake, legacy is not about being remembered by the world. It's about looking in the mirror years from now and knowing, with every fiber of your being, that you became who you were meant to be. Not because life was kind, but because you were unstoppable. Every time you rise from pain, you are rewriting the script of your life. The world may expect you to collapse, to stay broken, to fade quietly into the background. But each time you defy that expectation, you prove something greater. You are not ordinary. Ordinary people stay where they fell. You, on the other hand, rise with a force that shocks even those who doubted you. And here lies the deeper truth. Pain is the most loyal teacher you will ever have. Success will flatter you, comfort will weaken you, but pain, it never lies. It exposes exactly where you are fragile, and it gives you the chance to strengthen that very place. It pushes you to grow in directions you never imagined. Without it, you would never touch the edges of your potential. Picture this: a seed must crack before it becomes a tree. A diamond must endure pressure before it shines. And you must walk through your pain before you embody your destiny. These are not cliches. They are laws written into the fabric of existence. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. Prepared for a life that most will never taste, because most will never embrace the fire. And the irony is this: the very pain you once hated will one day be the story that inspires others. The wounds that burned you will become the words that guide someone else through their darkness. Your scars will speak louder than any victory, because nothing is more powerful than a soul that has suffered and yet chosen to rise. So when the world looks at you, let them see not just survival, but transformation. Let them see in your eyes the reflection of every battle you've endured. Let them wonder how you carry such quiet strength, and let them realize they cannot touch you because you have already walked through the fire and claimed it as your own. There comes a moment when you realize the pain was never just about you. It was training you for something greater, something beyond your own survival. Because once you learn to transform pain into power, you carry a responsibility to shape the world around you with the strength you've gained. Think about it. Your resilience doesn't only change your life, it changes everyone who witnesses it. People watch you rise when they expected you to fall, and suddenly they start believing they can rise too. Your scars become proof that transformation is possible. Your journey becomes a silent permission slip for others to face their own storms. This is where your power evolves into influence. You stop living just for yourself, and you start embodying a force that lifts others. Leaders are not crowned. They are born in moments of suffering, when they decide not only to endure their pain, but to turn it into light for others who are lost in the dark. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you unforgettable. And let's be honest, the world doesn't remember those who lived comfortable, untested lives. It remembers the ones who stood in the fire, carried the weight, and transformed it into something larger than themselves. Your pain is not just shaping your destiny, it's shaping your legacy. A legacy that whispers to those who come after you, you are stronger than you think. You can rise too. This is why your struggle matters. This is why your scars are sacred. They are not signs of defeat, but signals of destiny. And the more you embrace them, the more unstoppable you become. Not just for yourself, but for everyone who dares to follow your example. Then listen closely, because this is the truth most people will never hear. Your pain was never random. Every trial, every heartbreak, every loss was a forging ground. It was preparing you, not only to rise for yourself, but to carry something larger than yourself. You are not here by accident. You are here because life saw in you the strength to transform wounds into wisdom, and wisdom into a force that shapes destiny. When you embrace your scars, you stop being just another face in the crowd. You become a symbol of what it means to endure, to overcome, to transcend. And symbols last longer than lifetimes. Think about the figures who left their mark on history. They didn't do so because they lived without pain. They did so because they walked through it, claimed it, and turned it into a banner others could follow. Your suffering ties you to something universal. Every human has felt pain, but few have conquered it. When you rise, you're not only proving your own strength, you're proving what's possible for the entire human spirit. You become a living testament that greatness is not born in comfort, but in struggle. That true power is not about domination, but about endurance. That legacy is not given, it's earned, drop by drop, tear by tear, battle by battle. And in that moment, you stop asking, why me? and you begin to declare, because it had to be me. You carry the torch that others were too afraid to lift. You walk the path that others abandoned, and by doing so, you carve a place for yourself in the lineage of the unbreakable, the ones who turn their darkest nights into guiding lights for others. By now you must see it clearly. The pain you've endured is not just a chapter of your life, it is the blueprint of your power. Every disappointment, every betrayal, every moment you thought you could not go on has been quietly building you into something extraordinary. While others ran from their suffering, you stayed, stared it in the face, and refused to bow. That is what sets you apart. That is what makes you unstoppable. And here's the deeper truth. The transformation isn't just internal. When you rise from your pain, the world shifts around you. Your presence alone sends a message. Hardship does not define us, strength does. You carry an energy that others cannot fabricate, a quiet authority born from surviving, learning, and mastering the fires of your own life. Consider the unspoken power of someone who has truly conquered themselves. They don't need to shout. They don't need to boast. Their silence, their composure, their resilience, they speak volumes. Every glance, every decision, every action is loaded with the weight of experience. People feel it. They recognize the difference between those who have endured and those who have only pretended. And now, that is you. This is why your pain was never a curse. It was a key that unlocks doors most people will never even see. The deeper the wound, the sharper the insight. The greater the struggle, the stronger the resolve. You are no longer simply surviving. You are becoming an architect of destiny, a force capable of bending circumstances to your will, not through luck, but through mastery of your own mind and spirit. Every scar, every tear, every sleepless night has brought you here. And here is where you begin to understand. The power you sought externally has always lived within you. Pain merely showed you where it was hidden. Now you hold it openly. Now you wield it deliberately. Now you are in every sense untouchable. And now here is the truth that everything you've endured has been leading to. Pain is not your enemy. It is your teacher, your forge, your secret weapon. Every hardship, every betrayal, every moment that left you questioning your worth has been shaping you into someone extraordinary. You are not here by accident. You are here because the universe saw your potential, even when you doubted it yourself. The difference between those who fade into ordinary lives and those who leave a mark on the world is simple. The latter embrace their suffering, learn from it, and use it to create power that cannot be taken. And that is exactly what you are doing now. You are not just surviving, you are rising, transforming, and claiming the strength that has always been inside you. So stand tall, knowing that every scar is a medal, every tear a step toward mastery, and every dark night a proving ground. You are the architect of your destiny, the hero of your story, and the proof that greatness is born in fire. The world may test you, life may push you, but you are no longer the person who bends under pressure. You are the one who shapes it. And if you feel that fire burning inside you right now, if you realize that your pain can truly become your power, then don't let this moment pass. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and join a community of warriors who refuse to settle for ordinary. Together we'll rise, transform, and become unstoppable. Because you, my friend, were never meant to be small. You were meant to be legendary.